Yo, what's good guys, Fire here back from the video, and today I'm going to bring you guys another money play in Madden 21. This time we're going to be out of the gun tight offset tight end in the Saints playbook. This is also in the Packers playbook. The player running is going to be Y out HB swing, one of my favorite plays this year. You see how many calls I have, 252. I've been running this formation a lot, and I definitely like it a lot. I dropped a full scheme on this formation a couple of days ago, so make sure, or maybe like a couple of weeks ago, make sure you guys go check that out for the full scheme. But today we're going to be focusing on the Y out HB swing. Now, first things first, we are going to talk about personnel a little bit. The way I like to run Y out HB swing, or tight offset in general, is with my tight end on the field. Just because I can audible to this gun Taysom Hill and run the read option that I like a lot. Also, I can audible to this Y off trio. But in this video, just for video's sake, I will go to the halfback one package, get 4 wide receivers there. Keep in mind, when you have 4 wide receivers, you can't audible to these 2 formations. You are literally forced to stay just in tight offset, so keep that in mind. Now, another thing is you want a slot apprentice. I'm going to be using the slot apprentice ability in this video. Michael Thomas has it. And you also want him right here at this left spot. The way you get him there is you put him at your number 2 wide receiver in the depth chart, so on your main menu screen. And then when you go to the halfback one package, he will be on that left side. If you're going to stay with your tight end, you want to put him at wide receiver 1. So keep that in mind. So I'm just going to come out in the play. And again, this is a good play. It's symmetrical. It doesn't really matter too much what side you come out in. I'll be showing different setups from both sides. But for now, we'll just have that slot receiver on the corner route. And I'm going to be focusing in on man coverage today. So a lot of man beaters, ways that I beat man even out of a compressed set. Alright guys, I'm out here on the field now, and you see I'm just in the middle hash. I'm going to be flipping the formation a lot depending on the setup, where I want to do things, what I want to show. So I'm just going to be in the middle just so that everything is consistent. You see I'm in a dollar man coverage look, and the reason I'm in dollar over nickel normal is so a linebacker wouldn't be manned up on anybody. I want all corners, so there's no complaints or whatever, no reason that this shouldn't work online or whatever. So I just went ahead, pressed. For the first play, I'm just going to shade over the top, and I'll probably just play it like this a lot with the 2 curl flats, and then I'll just use one of these D linemen. Now again, I'll probably put him in a spy because sometimes the icons show up, which is pretty annoying. But for the first setup, I'll just throw both these players on drags. We got A on a drag, X on a drag. Very good against, man coverage that is shaded over the top. So you see the drags will get a lot of separation. Even a guy on the slower spectrum of the speed, Traquan Smith, I don't think he's over 90 speed, is able to get really good separation. So again, that's something that is nice to have for sure. Just base drags, really good this year against zone, against man. You want to mix them in, and especially out of tight offset, I find myself throwing a lot of drags throughout the entire scheme. So again, that's something you never want to not do. Now you see we'll throw it to A. You see Sanders still got the separation. Not only do we have separation on the drags, but even if their curl flats are a little bit shallow, you can actually get that corner out above. Now I'm not sure if it'll work too well in practice mode. I do just have my curl flats at base right now. I don't have them set to any specific zone drops. But just coming out base, again, we'll snap the ball. You see the corner out can get separation. We do get the reception, but you see it's a lot tighter. So corner routes against man coverage are not exactly the best way, especially for these weird man setups where a lot of times people are putting curl flats on the wide side or whatever. So simple way to eliminate that is to flip your play, get this player on the corner route, because obviously keep in mind he doesn't have the slot apprentice, only Michael Thomas does. So what you will do is put Y on the corner route now. You got 2 corners and a drag, so sometimes when people are playing this style of defense, what they will do is put Y on like a curl flat and A on maybe an inside third, or they'll put A on a curl flat, Y on an inside third, and pretend that they are using this player right here, just for video's sake. So they would be using him, and obviously they have everybody else manned up. So if they do that, you notice your opponent continuing to put a curl flat on only one side. This is a good way to attack the other side. So I could throw a corner out to the other side. Now you see there's not a curl flat. So again, that's a good way to get 2 corner outs on the field. And again, also if he's not playing any curl flats, or if he's playing underneath or whatever, then that's an easy way to attack as well. And the good thing about this stock corner route is that it's going to beat man coverage, so even a guy like Sanders will get pretty good separation against the man coverage. Definitely nice to have as well. And then obviously you can throw Thomas on him, and he's still going to get the fast breaking animation. You see, I'll throw it to Sanders now on break. Look at the separation that he gets just off the break. And again, Sanders under 90 speed as well. So again, that's another setup. But honestly, my favorite setup is going to be where I go ahead and put Y on a crosser. So I'm going to put Y on a crosser like this. And the reason I love the crossers is they get over the curl flats. So even 20-yard zone drop curl flats, I believe 15 yards and 20 yards, these get over the top. So again, I'm going to press. And this time, let's pretend that they're using bench press or something. I'm just going to not shit over the top, leave it the same, and throw him on the crosser. So using the crosser, my favorite way to use it is going to be obviously put Y on a crosser, which is going to be the D-pad up on his hot routes. And then you're going to put A on a slant. So you see you got the deep post. You can definitely put him on a slant, or you can actually go double drags. For the first setup, I'll just put A on a slant and leave X on his drag route. So you got a drag, crosser, just a lot of crossing routes. If you wanted to, you could throw RB on like a curl so that there's something in the middle of the field. But yeah, against man coverage, this is probably my favorite setup right now. Very dominant. You're just going to get a lot of routes that get separation. And look at Y, way over the top. He's going to have to play at least 30-yard curl flat zone drops. And even then, I'm not sure if it would defend it as well. So again, Y on a deep cross. You see how deep he is on the field. And the crossers are honestly the best way to beat man coverage this year. You're almost forcing your opponent to use the crosser, and then you still have the slant, you have the drag, you have some other man-beating routes. Also, this post route, that does get pretty good separation, I would say. And if they even try to shade over the top, let's say they don't want to get burnt, they're going to shade over the top, you will still get that separation, even though he gets bumped a little. You see the curl flat, just the base curl flats are not even in the area code. Obviously, they're not at the 20-yard mark right now, but even if they were, they still don't defend it even close, really. So it's still completely wide open. So definitely very nice thing to have with that little crossing route. That's why the slot apprentice is so important out of formation like this, compressed set. The ability to put him on like a crossing route is definitely a nice asset to have. So again, I'll press. Now also this little post route, it can get separation. It's not my favorite route to throw, but if you have a speed advantage, it can definitely get separation. It's happened online. I've been able to throw that with guys like Mark Clayton on even faster corners. So Mark Clayton, he's only 90 speed, I think, or he's not that fast. So it can definitely get separation. The other way, again, you can just throw double drags if you want. Here I'll try to hit B upstairs. You see that you get a little separation, but obviously a guy like Deontay Harris, they messed up his speed. So he's only 91 speed. Fortunately, literally no one on the Saints is fast at all, so it's kind of difficult for me to show that. Obviously, if you have things like route technician, that definitely helps as well. But you'll just have to take my word for it. This route definitely does get separation on man coverage. You just do need speed. Deontay Harris, he's one of the fastest players in the NFL, and they gave him 91 speed, so unfortunate that I can't exactly show it. But yeah, I'll show it one more time. Just A on a slant. This is the best setup. A on a slant, X on a little drag if I wanted to. Maybe if I had like hot or backfield master, I could throw RB on like a backside flat if I just wanted to send the whole team out on routes. But yeah, we'll just snap the ball here. You'll see, can throw the slant, can throw the table route obviously right there. So the slant will get separation. Sometimes the curl flats do a good job of defending it, but if the curl flats are super deep, then that slant route still will get open. If they're stock, then obviously you got the crosser, you got the post, you got drag, you got other things that will be open as well. But now we're gonna go back to the flip. So we're gonna flip it again here. We want the post and the crosser on the same side. So here we're still gonna put Y on a little crossing route. So now we have a corner route, deep post, crosser in this drag. So what I like to do personally is throw B on a little zig and A on the slant. So it's gonna look like this. You can obviously do that vice versa. But I've noticed better zig route animations from this outside receiver rather than the inside. I feel like that outside receiver gets a better release on them, and I just get more separation in general. But yeah, this is a good way to pretty much open up that crosser even more. You see that no deep zone's going to really defend it, and you also have like the deep post that can get open on the same side as well. So again, just mixing things up. You see we got the slant. Look at the separation we got. Nobody close. Look at the crosser. I know it's like Michael Thomas. He has really good route running and all that, but guys like, I use the guy Reggie Wayne in Mutt, and he gets this kind of separation on faster cornerbacks. I've seen it on Denzel Ward, DRC as well. So Reggie Wayne, he's not exactly the best wide receiver in the game. He's definitely good, but still to be able to get that kind of separation is super overpowering to have. And again, that little crossers, tight end crossers, as long as he has speed, he can get that like glitchy release. And obviously Thomas has route technician, so I know that helps. But you see I'm still shading over the top, and he's still getting that little animation that's so nice. So again, I could throw A on a zig, B on a backside slant, whatever. Maybe I just go drag slant, or I can still motion somebody over and throw him on a backside drag like this, almost like a cross drag or PA boot over type setup. So you can definitely do a lot of things with this play and with this setup in particular. You see there we got the little post route with separation, but sometimes when that happens, you see that the player can actually come off his route, so be careful if you're going to do that. But yeah, another way to beat just base man coverage I've noticed out of this play, and something you can use the slot apprentice ability for, is just this stop and go. So stop and go, I'm not exactly the biggest fan of it, but it can get separation. Obviously you want it a little bit more spread out, so it's not the best out of a tight offset, I would say. But yeah, it's still good against man coverage, and occasionally it works. It's kind of inconsistent, I will say. Sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't, but you'll see stops, and right there you see you didn't really get any separation. We obviously throw a pick right there. Madden 21, he's not going to catch the pick. But yeah, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. Again, one of those inconsistent routes, but I have seen it work, and when it works, it's going to be deep for a touchdown. So if you want to kind of clear out everybody, maybe you go with something like this or whatever. Just A on like a slant, B on a curl, X on a drag. Again, these aren't exactly perfect setups, but you see how you would be able to get some separation depending on the man coverage. It happens sometimes, happens doesn't. Can't guarantee it, but that's just something you could throw in if you are like completely struggling, just want to try something new. So again, give you guys some decent setups. Really what you want to use is this little crosser setup that is so nice. This setup is definitely the best. But again, you can also use things like this dual corner route, gave you the dual drag, gave you the post and the crosser to the same side. So a lot of good stuff. That's pretty much going to do it for the video. If you guys enjoyed, hit that like, hit that sub button if you are new, and peace. I'm out of here.